Okay, I hope you watched the previous video. This is video number 2 concerning Zimbabwe and the new gold regime, the gold coins regime that the government is bringing forward. And we are saying on this channel, it's a very positive move. Well done, the government of Zimbabwe, or well done, Minister of Finance, well done, John Mankuja. You did well by bringing that gold coins is legal tender in Zimbabwe. From this channel, we upload you. We think that is a very positive a positive move that will answer a lot of economic problems, and it will actually shield Zimbabwe from this this economic storm that is coming towards the whole world. We know that there's going to be a global recession. If we're not already in the global recession, there's probably going to be, we're going to get steeper into a global recession. We're looking at the global indices. We are seeing that we are not only in a correction territory, but we are inching towards recession territory in major indices, in major US indices. Talk about the Dow Jones, the S&P, talk about the FTSE 100. You go to China, everywhere there is depressed prices in the global financial markets, and we think that it might last. It might be extended. The recession might be extended. Maybe not a depression, but it might be extended. I do not know for how long. Nobody knows about these things. We're always speculating. But what is highly likely to happen, and as we can see happening, is also a sustained hyperinflation. And we do know with some of the fundamental reasons for this hyperinflation, looking at the war in Russia-Ukraine war, that is causing shortages in commodities, and bringing and causing commodity prices to be high. Talking of wheat, flour, talking of the fuel prices as well. Oil prices are high, and that also affects fertilizer production. Now, if fertilizer production, which comes from Ukraine and Russia, is affected, we are talking about the whole farming industry across the world. Talking about high inflation in all farm produce. So food prices are most likely to go high in the next coming even 1 year or 2 years. We do not know if Russia will exacerbate the situation by prolonging the war in Ukraine. We do not know even if the war in Ukraine ceases now. We do not know for how long the shock in the system is going to reverberate, and how much damage is going to cause, because these things have got a tendency of spill over. They tend to spill over from one industry to another industry. Therefore, the takeaway from all of this, we're talking about an elongated period of high inflation around the world, and therefore and depressed asset prices, and depressed business conditions. Therefore, the idea that the Zimbabwean government has brought is actually good. It's in the right timing. It's in good timing, so that we can have gold as legal tender. That can actually begin to attract other people from around the world who are not Zimbabweans, who might actually want to participate in that Zimbabwean gold rush. So I wish the government success in it. I hope you standardize it. I'm telling you, first standardize it, and this time, please do not miss this thing. Come on, please. Please do not miss this one. This is the most brilliant idea that ZANU-PF has ever had in its whole existence. And please don't fuck this up. Okay, I'm sorry for my language. I'm a man of God. Please don't do that. This is the best idea you have ever had since 1980. So please don't screw it up. Whoever is a thief, whoever is fun, destroy them, fire them. Please, I'm gonna give you a blueprint of how to move forward. Please do not mess it up. Okay, this is not a place to mess. It's like we've got only one seat, and then this guy who's corrupt comes and steals this one seat. from this one, only one seed that we have. And somebody comes and just say, ah, no Torah. Nonsense. Don't do this time around. Like we told you, that is the most amazing thing that we've ever done. Now I've doubted too for so many for a long time, but this idea is the best idea ever, and therefore it needs for us, since it is a seed that is planted, and for seed to grow, ideas come around a seed. So therefore, there is ideas that I have that I want to put across the table that will actually cause the seed to germinate and help our nation to grow, and it's going to surpass many other nations. I've been always hearing God telling me Zimbabwe will surpass other nations. I don't know how. Now I'm beginning to see. I'm beginning to see how it's happening through this introduction of these gold coins as legal tender, because they will help, first of all, to fight hyperinflation. At the same time, they will bring direct investment, foreign investment to a country. How does foreign direct investment come? Because as let me show you something, Mr. Kulingobe, Reserve Bank Governor, and all economists listening. This is a very important thing to note, because when you allow, as a government, you allow gold to be legal tender, all right, which means you are allowing for private ownership of gold, something which is rare in most countries in the world. You do know the reason why most countries do not allow ownership of gold, right? The reason is because their economies are run on fiat currencies, and therefore they want to have that monetary policy freedom to expand as much as they want, or to contract monetary policy whichever way they want to do it. But then if you actually allow gold coins to be legal tender, the Reserve Bank doesn't have much capacity to actually expand monetary policy. I mean, we cannot expand the supply of gold. All right. The only way we can expand the supply of gold is to do the actual mining. Okay, the actual mining of the gold itself is the natural monetary expansion thereof, or the buying of gold coins from other countries and bring it in the country is what is going to increase the money supply of gold. But I like the fact that you are having a dual idea, because you still are keeping the Zimbabwean currency as well, which means that gold, inadvertently, this gold is a currency. At the same time, you still have the Zim dollar, which means that you still have the freedom, you still have a monetary freedom there in that space, so you can move monetary via the Zim dollar. But obviously, the only way you can move monetary in the gold coin is through mining. But nonetheless, it's good that it's going to help our how to call it, to fight off inflation. Now, and I say that the second idea that I have, therefore, actually this one is an observation which can be turned also into an idea. The observation is that you will see an attraction of foreign capital coming into Zimbabwe. Why? Because they want to have this physical ownership of this gold coin that can easily be traded. And therefore, with the gold coin, Mr. Mtuli, you stroke of genius. You know that in the world, the US dollar is the reserve currency, right? You know, the other silent reserve currency actually is gold. All right. Gold itself is a reserve currency of the whole world, but it is a silent background one which will naturally come into play when the global financial system is just, it goes on a tailspin. Are you listening, Mr. Ngobe? Are you listening, economists? If you don't understand, I think some of my audience I have lost, but if you're an economist, I think you're moving along with me. So you will see that the unraveling of the global financial system might actually render the US dollar unstable at some point, you know. And but then if you have got gold, you can have a shortage of US dollar reserves, says the Reserve Bank. But if you have got your people trading in gold coins Okay, so your people, when they want to buy products from outside the country, even if the country does not have a supply of US dollars, but they have got a supply of gold coins that is coming from the citizens, from the local companies, that gold coin itself is accepted by other countries. There's no country that can say to you, we don't accept gold, we only accept US dollar. No, 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 no. Every country will accept gold coins in as much as they would accept US dollar, if not better. To understand. So therefore, the stroke of genius in there in Mthuli Ncube and John Mankuja or Emerson Mnangagwa, I do not know who came up with that idea, but the stroke of genius there is that if you have gold coins as legal tender, you can really never run out of foreign currency reserves. In fact, you cancel out the need for foreign currency reserves, because gold itself is better than all foreign currency reserves. Gold is better than the euro. Gold is better than the pound. Gold is better than the US dollar. Understand? Because you see, we do understand that the shortage of foreign currency comes about when the local economy, which trades in a local currency, begin to demand or to demand goods, foreign goods that are bought in US dollars, in foreign currency, in which we find out that the government or the Reserve Bank does not have that foreign currency. And then the foreign goods cannot be bought using local currency, which means that foreign countries cannot accept our local currency. They accept their currency or the US dollar. However, if gold is our local currency, the idea there is that there is no country that does not accept gold as a currency, because the original currency of money actually is gold. Gold is more original than the US dollar. To understand? So that's why I'm saying that the stroke of genius, therefore, is reverting back to Wenamam Chichi, going back to the basics. The basics of monetary policy is actually gold is the standard, metric or standard use as money. So money is gold. Gold is a commodity that it can be standardized very easily. That is why gold has always been money for hundreds of years. Even though you can also add silver as well. Another idea that we can do is actually to add silver as well. Silver. We'll talk about that on the next video. I want to see your appetite for this thing that I'm talking about. If you've got appetite to what I'm talking about, you will go to the next video. If you don't have appetite, you won't go. But there's more idea. I haven't even gone to the mother of all ideas that I really want to posit here, that is going to transform Zimbabwe and make it into a very successful country above all African countries, and even one of the most industrialized countries in the world. If you really listen and obey to what I'm going to say, because if you are an economist who is worth his salt, you will understand the next idea that I'm going to bring is going to be grand, shaky, it's transformative. I mean, it's totally, I mean, it's a crazy transformative, like awesome. You really need to watch the next video. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Share and like, and if you are listening to this video, please share it with people that are in finance, people that are in economics, so that they can engage. I'm going to leave my number below, and so that we can talk about it, because this is, I think, it's an opportunity for Zimbabwe to actually break through and become one of the most successful countries in the world.